Welcome back, everybody, to the Demacia Cup quarterfinal match between Billy Gaming and Anyone's Legend. Definitely not BLG. Definitely not getting the win in that first game, as it was all Anyone's Legend from start to finish, aside from that one miscue at the turret. Now we are into the second draft here. Picks and bans, a couple of differences, couple of similarities, but a first pick Aurora is actually quite surprising.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Aurora because it's been banned a lot, actually, on blue side quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, very, very interesting to actually get to see this Aurora pick come out. And I think for me, what's worked the best whenever we see this Aurora is just big team fighting abilities, right? Things that will combo in with that Aurora ultimate. I don't mind Viego being here, because of course you get multiple members inside of this ultimate. Someone is surely gonna die if you have the remainder of the correct setup and damage, appropriate damage around this. So let's see where BLG decide to go, as Cassante will be the answer. So now they have a top laner that will deal with a lane swap appropriately
Nice.
if that is what we come to. But also Cassante, a fairly decent pairing with this Aurora, which you might not necessarily think of immediately, but you lock in all of these people together. Normally, the way that these, patterns kind of go is people get locked in this cage, they all bunch up together. What's this? Cassandra gets the Pathmaker, like 2 people guaranteed, as AL really want this series to end like ASAP, right? Going for the Smolder on R3, just confirmed solid scaling. They know that Aurora's early laning is just not super potent if you are a range champion, especially. So just, yeah, go for the scaling option, hit 225 stacks at like 20 minutes, have this Nocturne and, of course, Nico pairing. And yeah, lights go off, Nico very scary, and yeah, have that Smolder to scale up. And because the Cassante is there, you kind of can, if you don't want to initiate a lane swap, standard lanes, Cassante can't really pressure out Smolder until level 6. And even then, it's like Smolder has to really miss position to let Cassante really get on top of him. So we could even end up see a Smolder get flexed all the way up there. Don't want to sleep on the overall flexibility of this AL composition. But for now, second round of bans, double ADs for AL makes sense. And of course, that disengage Braum, we're seeing second band a lot tonight.
Yeah, got to keep that one away, especially when you're staring down a Cassante and a Viego. You don't want to have to play uh, into that Braum. So it'll be a good ban. And I like that you mentioned the Aurora Ultimate along with the Viego Ultimate. Event League is a game where if you stack a bunch of circles on top of each other, eventually somebody's gonna die, right?
Yeah.
That's just how it's gonna go. As you can see, Rakan getting picked here. They're stacking circles. It's another circle with the Nico. This is great. This is perfect. Exactly what you'd want if you're anyone's legend. I am curious to see where the Smolder build goes, mostly because I think that this is he hasn't been picked too much since the most
Oh
recent changes
yeah,
made to him.
the god.
So he's going a little bit more like lethality now,
Yeah, that's right.
and
The
has
the
more early
hubris.
damage.
Yeah, the hubris rapid fire cannon, is it? I can't recall
You
what the
build like
second item is.
Zeal, you build like Zeal, and then you build your first part of Last Whisper, and then you complete them. It's something really,
It's
really weird.
particular, that's for sure.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. It is super hyper specific.
yeah, it's very, very specific. We are going to be seeing the Smolder in a solo lane. It looks like we're going to be getting Nico top,
Ooh, one
by
hit,
the
one hit
looks
Nico
of
top.
things. So that's where we're going to be going for this draft of AL, and I think
We're
they
getting
might be having a
spicy.
little bit of fun, a little
We're
bit of
getting
spice being
spicy.
added. Yeah, double AD. I think honestly, there's room for BLG to win this game if AL, you know,
Nah, it's Smolder top. There's
oh,
no
is
room to win
top.
anymore.
I kind of like smoke. I don't. Okay, not. I kind of oversold. Smolder can die. Like it's not impossible in the top lane. Like first 5 levels, they suck. Afterwards, you have to try and get Cassante's all out without dying, and it's not as easy as it might seem unless your jungler's there. That said, yeah, it's still pretty good. And now this Nico mid is going to secure you mid priority. You then get to snowball invades off that, and hell, maybe you use that priority and the snowball of jungler being able to move everywhere to protect your smolder. So yeah, I think AL still have very, very solid macro options. And they have really decent scaling. They do definitely lack a frontliner though, and that can
Oh
come
yeah.
back to bite them in the backside, especially against something like an Aurora. You have so many squishies into that ultimate. Featherstorm can be there, used unironically aggressively in this instance, as well as all of the other very potent CC. Could make for, like you said, circles inside of circles eventually make people die. We'll see how efficient the BLG side can make use of that little tidbit.
Yeah, I think if you're BLG, you actually quite like the draft that you have, mostly because talking the 80 carries here, Baya is like excellent. I get Zaya. This gets to keep me away from Nico. It gets to keep me away from Nocturne. And on the other side, it's like, oh, there's a Nautilus here. Well, we can pick the Jinx or we can pick the Smolder. Obviously, two decisions that you have to make. But as long as you can guarantee the kill on one of them, you get to set all of your focus on trying to kill the other, and it will make things quite a bit easier. It's just a matter of execution, Jamada. So we've made it on to Summoner's Rift here. There's a little bit of poke is going back and forth, a couple of wards, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Information gained here on the Raptor camp. That's going to be Tarzan's start. Xia does sweep. Does actually use that one. And there isn't another sweeper available. So if a ward does get placed either on the red or on the chickens, and the red looks a little bit more likely, could be an issue as they're actually trying. They think they win the 1v1 here. No, they're just putting that information down the ward. Won't be swept away now. It's full vision start for the side of AL. Though, as I say, that actually Monkey will start on the chickens, which is, of course, also the other standard route. Just kind of lets you also slingshot to level 5. If you get, a full clear into Scuttle into kill that chicken camp on the next rotation alongside the Krugs, can level you up quite quickly in the early game.
Yep, and that's, as we all know, levels in the early game, really good. So you can see this is the brand new Jinx skin. Jamada, have you rolled for the Jinx skin?
Look, man, I need to be careful what I say.
All right,
I have
I'll go
personally
first.
rolled.
I did not pity the Jinx skin.
Ah, I see.
I do not want to talk about how many rolls it took.
Okay, that's It's not my personal cup of tea. Plus, I actually think I was still in America when that came out. So
Oh, okay,
I
excellent.
was
You
on
were
my League of
spared.
Legends hiatus. I was spared. Yeah, I was spared from picking that one up. Though again, Jinx ADs not my thing as a
Jazz is
play.
gonna find a way around these minions. His first stun is gonna go off onto Kyle. Kyle going to be able to double hop away. The ignite shouldn't be enough to take him out. Very close as
Whoa!
Hope just walked up into two members in Fog of War. Tarzan is here to rebuff what they were trying to do to his AD carry, but Hope with no summoners left, tough.
Yeah. Big bit of disrespect. A very head scratcher moment from Hope. And I mean, honestly, if Monkey had a little bit more HP, they could have just pushed in this wave and looked for a dive or just threaten it just to, make sure that Hope and Kyle, like maybe have to split the XP 3 ways as, oh no,
I like
it's
this.
just a...
Oh, nice play by Tarzan, burning his flash to get in front of it. It'll be first blood going over to Hope. Wow.
Wow, well played, Tarzan. Just presence of mind. Oh, he's gonna dredge line. Nope, just flashed in front of it, man. Denied that exit.
Dredge line me.
Yeah, dredge line me. As this is the frustration of playing against Flandre on this model. Now, note that now that he doesn't have the E, he is for the next 15 seconds a much easier target, and Monkey is here to capitalize. Has to flash W, and he will.
All right, Monkey. I must say, with two very successful ganks. Unfortunately, the bottom side, the second part of it didn't really go the way they wanted it to. But listen, he has been around the map. He only has 12 CS, but he's been around the map.
Yeah, he has. He's making his impact known. He is gonna lose out on this chicken camp though because of this gank, and Tarzan has had a pretty good time farming all things, being the way that they have in this early game, and he's gonna be able to return to his wolves if he want, or he can just go and cover his chickens. Put a bit of pressure down on Heru here, which feels pretty nice. And now he's going to be level 5 off the back of his reset, right? Chickens, Krugs, reset. Get a look here at the flash. And
this guy's too good, man.
It's just a fantastic flash. to lock down this kill, and it goes on to Hope as well. So does his job. Dream jungler moment, as we've actually got a lane swap going on here. Shanks caught out. Don't think
I think
Shanks is
he's
in trouble
fine
though.
now. Monkey is going after him, flashes, and Xiaozha
Ah,
is here all the way up top, but Shanks with
whoa.
a nice sidestep, but he gets rooted from the passive anyway. But it will be Xiaozha who gets the kill.
Yeah, but now it's about the snowball effect. Who else could potentially find themselves in a little bit of danger because the wave was stacking, but of course the rotation in.
Xiaozha over the
Oh,
wall,
Xiaozha.
bites off a little bit more than he could chew. Monkey can't help him out. Flandre will be able to get the last auto attack off, and now all of a sudden starting to tilt toward anyone's legend once again.
Yeah, and again, you know, just Xiaozha 2 times now. Checking her brush, she just shouldn't be checking. You know, full press. full press.
Court press here out of Tarzan, spotting out Monkey, who's at half HP. I mean, Tarzan, I think, playing this one a little too conservatively. He could have just went for it.
Yeah, you know, I think BLG, it's been a lot of, you know, you said full court press from the side of AO and Tarzan. Like, I think it's been full court press from BLG, and then the counter attack, right? It's just been that high tempo, you know, dodge weave right hook from AO.
They're swinging, BLG swinging, but you know, they're not really connecting.
Yeah, exactly. And there's unfortunately been the story of their night.
I respect
this game. I do. Yeah, I do too. But hopefully you do see some kind of success at some point, as I suppose the Grubs can be a little bit of respite for them here. Claw back some of the lead between Monkey and Tarzan, though it's going to continue to be grown out by Tarzan when and where he can. He's still full clearing, and he's got camps on the other side to steal.
And he's not even level 6 yet. He's already gotten 2 assists. Like, this is exactly how you draw up a Nocturne game. Make an impact pre-6, hit level 6, boom. We start firing ultimates, turn out the lights, shut it down, send them home, send them packing.
Replay of just Xiaoxia getting bullied, you know? Are we getting a T-Tour of the auto attack? God damn it.
T-Tour of the auto attack. Oh, man. It was a very skillful auto attack there from Flandre, honestly. I mean, you know, when you talk about some of the best auto attackers of all time, you gotta talk about Flandre.
Yeah. Or some of the best 3-point scorers of all time, you know?
You could talk about James Harden.
Talk about James Harden, you know what I mean? But Flandre as well, at peak. A big game player, truly. I haven't seen it for a while. We hope to see him return to that form eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure during the regular season.
Kind of much like James Harden, actually. Now that I think about it.
You know what? Yeah. Maybe there is a career parallel to be had here. Except Flandre has been a literal world champion.
Yeah, like Flandre has a ring. You know.
Listen,
what I mean?
They're also both well known in China.
James yeah, that's true. That's true.
Stance.
That's true. Yeah, that's
we just got to get him a ring or take away Flandre's, and I don't think we're doing that anytime soon.
No, I don't think we are. Man, if I was like 6, how tall is James Harden? 6'5", 6'6"?
Hold on, James.
Yeah, please
Harden.
look it up.
Height.
Thank you.
6'5". Wow, he's taller than I thought. He plays point guard. He's just a little bit taller than I thought.
Yeah, like if I had
that's
7
all you,
more,
Jamato.
Man, 7 more inches, I could go to China. I could cosplay as James Harden. I think I'd get away with it.
You could probably do that now. You probably don't need the height. You could probably just go.
True, probable to be honest. But yeah.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day I could get away with the James Harden cosplay. Jokes
up to the top aside, they're going for it. They're just dive him. Just dive this guy. Let's go.
Yeah, kill him.
Playing Flandre. Mom coming through.
Everything's missing.
Heal, forces a flash out of Flandre.
This is not a good dive.
Yeah, I mean, they got the flash earlier. They didn't have any sort of play on Flandre to take advantage of it. Maybe we'll be able to repay that at some point, but that just allows time for anyone's legend to do their thing. Speaking of Tarzan, just hitting level 7. He hasn't used his ultimate yet. He hasn't really had a spot to actually use it, so I guess that's a good thing for BLG.
Yeah, they have to repeat the play though, you know, like they've got to get up there within the next 5 minutes. That's the big thing. And if you do that, then Tarzan gets maybe a free pick down here. Great sidestep.
Oh, yeah, he is putting on a show right now, but he's still stuck in a 2v1. Hook can't help out. Nice dodge there. on the Super Mega Death Rocket. So Baya will be down his ultimate, but traded back nicely.
Yeah, I mean, still mechanically, once he's in that position, does everything he has to just not blow a single summoner spell. Everything dodged out on. Excellent footwork
Just
from Baye.
positioning is nuts. It's one thing
Yeah,
I
like
noticed when watching NEST was this guy. His micro movements are so strong. A lot of players would die there, or burn both summoners, as you were saying.
yeah, no, absolutely. And it's always one of the things you'll notice about, the mechanical prowess of a lot of specifically the AD players, frankly, in the LPL, but a lot of players throughout naturally, is they are just so on edge, right? It feels like, especially of this generation, everyone must have just grown up on Jackie Love, right? 2018 Jackie Love really pushing the envelope on
Like,
what is
listen,
truly allowed in the
listen.
AD
You
carry
watch a
role and
player.
studying it like the Bible.
Let me ask you, Jamada, who was the first pro player you watched? That you really were enamored by? You probably said, "Listen, I want to play the game like
Uh,
that guy a little bit."
Dandy,
Ah,
2014. It's
well,
it's it's old.
let's
Hello.
go on. Here comes the Nocturne. Tarzan able to get in there. Kyle doing what he can to get CC off, but no kills yet for AL as
It's
BLG managed to
split.
get one. Monkey doing what he can, drops his ultimate just to try to run away. The health bars are a little low on the side of BLG. Is there a secondary engage? It's going to come from Liang Shen. Super Mega Death Rocket lands. Here comes Shanks. He's only able to get one. And
Uh-oh.
for Hope as he's starting to reset. And he gets the third one to
Uh-oh.
Monkey. But he's not able to get anything more, at least not yet. Does have a triple. Baye and Haru will retreat to the safety of their turret. But that is what you get when you have a Jinx on your team popping off in a team fight.
Yep, popping off in a team fight indeed. Hope afforded so much space. He's 4-0 now, as well. He already had the collector. And that's going to be a massive amount of gold to be able to spend to get towards that next item. Curious on what exactly it's going to be, because, of course, collect the first item. Not something you always see on every variation of Jinx, but of course we've seen this lethality build pop up for a little while now. And looking back at this fight, again, very split, right, from AL. Not the cleanest of execution. Kyle, very deep, comparatively to his diving buddy at Tarzan. He realizes that a little bit too late, even loses the flash on the very last frame of his life, as Hope unfortunately forced the flash, but of course flashes to such a reposition that once he's able to fire over the wall and get that initial reset with that ultimate, it is lights out for BLG.
There's an award too, by the way. That's
Yeah.
pretty insane that he was able to pick up that kill and see he gets the nice. I guess that was the not a crit, but the collector there. Maybe it was a crit into collector proc. As not sure a regular auto attack would have put him below 5%, but regardless, no matter how way you slice it, you get 3 kills on the Hope now. 4-0 has those boots completed. Every AD carry loves completing their boots. It is just one of the best feelings in the world. It's now anyone's legend starting to head into this bottom side jungle. They really want to just put Monkey out of this game.
Yeah, and you do that, it feels like, this mid-game potential bridge to set up Desire for later games is just not going to be present. So if Jinx, or rather if Monkey's put behind, it's going to get a little bit rough. Lights are off.
Yeah, lights out. Zhao going to be the target, and everybody's on top of him. He's not going to be able to find a way out. It's going to be another kill for Hope. Will we get anything off the back of the reset? Shanks forcing the ultimate out of Baya, and look at the other side. Monkey just off on his own trying to 1v1 Tarzan, but it wasn't a 1v1. So everybody else shows up. Tarzan getting that one too. And anyone's legend back in full control of this game as we expected.
Yeah, exactly as we expected. 4,000 gold in the lead right now. And we'll see if AL can match their game pace from number one earlier, as what was it in the end? I think it ended up being like a 28-minute game, but the gold lead just absolutely just exploded tenfold from the 20-minute mark. And right now, definitely a little bit ahead of where they were comparatively against this BLG lineup last game, as not much to talk about in this replay, to be completely frank with you.
Yeah,
Xiaoxia, rather. Just very split, and Shanks comes in on the collapse. It makes it very easy to then pick off Monkey. And I think Tarzan even spell shielded the ultimate out, as speaking of spell shield.
Another nice spell shield out of him. Here comes the teleport coming in from Cassante here. It's BLG trying to get this Rift Herald, trying to do something. Flandre coming in from the top side. Yangshen doing what he can to just try to keep Tarzan away from smiting this. He gets pulled in, but here comes Shanks. Big knock up on his ultimate, and Hope has room to run. He's already excited. He's going to be able to actually get his first kill of the fight, and now the rest of them will fall like dominoes. Tarzan over the wall gets one for himself. He's going to even stay alive through that. It's a triple kill as Hope turns everyone to powder.
Hope, again, 3 kills in a team fight. And even though he's dead, the only one to die, I have to highlight Shanks' ultimate there that really set up the remainder of that team fight for AL. BLG, again, just too far behind at this point in the game. Leonchan does his best in the pit with the Cassante to try and put some work in, and some damage he does put out is good, but it's just the rest of BLG getting melted far too quickly in comparison, as first tower now also going to go over to Hope, an additional 600 gold, and Flandre, it goes from bad to worse, from worse to a nightmare for BLG. Also pick up this tower, as it's so many stacks, so much gold. As we look at the replay, and
Big
again,
oof.
it's a
Honestly.
big oof. It's just Shanks. It's a full frontal engage. He doesn't even have flash. He just finds it with a proto belt. 3 members. Flandre's free hitting on the backside. Hope is free hitting from the front. And again, even though the damage is really, really good from this Cassante, it's not enough. The rest of the team is absolutely minced.
Yeah, it's simply just the pincer of death, right? Whenever you see, it's like, okay, well, we've got over on one side, we have this smolder. This is the weak side of the pincer. No, he was pretty strong. I mean, obviously, maybe if Shank's ultimate was a little bit worse there's a conversation to be had about Flandre's flank, but there was just nothing to be done there for BLG. Is trying to get away as Yaoja. I think he might just get run down by Tarzan here, trying to make his way to the blast plant, but Tarzan puts himself on the right side of it. Yaoja hooking the wall, and Monkey is just gonna look at him and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry." Teru also finds himself on the wrong side of the tracks. Tarzan, Cal, and Flandre are just gonna pincer this poor man. He's gonna drop his ultimate sure between worlds. That just means Tarzan will be able to get the kill. It is another just rough showing here for BLG squad. Is absolutely anyone's legend is just touring with them.
Yeah, they are. It's not fun to commentate over games like these. So, to go back to your question, Dandy was, I think, the player that I first watched and was like, damn, this guy's good. I want to play like him. He was a first clear inspiration for me. I would be curious about what chat's answers would be to this as well, because
listen,
I feel like
we'll take a peek. I'm totally down.
As we encroach 15 years of
oh my god, dude.
of League of Legends, you start to get like different generational answers, right? Of
without a doubt.
Of people who, like, when they actually got into the competitive scene. For me, it was season 4, hence why my answer is Dandy.
My answer is going to be interesting. So, so I started watching in season 2, actually. That's when I started playing. So, like, my buddy was like, "Hey, there's like a competitive scene for this game," and there's this guy who played for Team Curse. His name was Nijaki, and he played Vagar. I played Vagar from like level 1 to level 30, and I was like, "Oh, this guy plays my favorite champion. Like, this guy's cool." So he was really the first one that I was like, "Ooh, I kind of want to be like that guy." Right now, I want to be like Hope, though, as he's fighting another kill. Heck, if you want to be like Shanks, too, despite the fact that 2 members dodged out on that, you can be like Shanks. Kyle going down as Baye living on a prayer on just a sliver, as the rest of BLG is able to actually find a way out, although Hope is just frontlining, trying desperately to get these auto attacks off.
Yeah, doing his best, but not quite enough, and a bit of an overextension by the end of it from AL, but honestly, it's kind of a drop in the ocean for what this lead is right now. BLG, it will be a miracle for them to come back at this kind of game state. So it is kind of just a hope and a prayer. And
hold on, are we really?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Are we really?
Oh yeah,
like,
we are. Yeah, we
showing
are. Yeah, we are. Yes.
the rank up skills of Jinx.
You know why?
I don't.
No, you do. You do a little bit of critical thinking here.
Sure. But
yeah,
I mean,
come on, man.
I mean,
look, buddy,
this is one of the more obvious ones. Like,
buddy, we've got a system to sell here. All right.
we do. Maybe not us, but
Oh, well, yeah, maybe not us. Not
Poor
we're
Xiaozhou, man.
currently.
Poor
Yeah,
Xiaozhou.
not
There's
again,
just
but
no
yeah,
way out
poor
of this
Xiao.
play.
Yeah, getting hit by the cool skin actually. He's the one that
Yeah,
got the
you
kill
know
on him.
what? Hey, listen, that'll be a footnote in history.
That's
This
true.
part of the fight was pretty good.
Yeah.
As, anyone's legend, they were a little discordant here, as they did bite off a little bit more than they could chew. But the sad part is, as you mentioned, there's only a 1-for-1. So you can see a nice little graphic on the bottom of the screen. Jinx skin, selling in a Riot client near you.
Yeah, I don't speak or read Mandarin, but I think I know what that means. I just just a sneaking suspicion. Uh, but yeah, it's a tough game for BLG. Unfortunately, being put down by this 10-0-3 Jinx right now, as they are congregating around the Baron, but I'm
I
actually
mean,
not too sure they can
maybe
start it
BLG.
even at
Yeah,
this far ahead.
maybe BLG can find a way in if anyone's legend starts a bit of a misguided Baron attempt. Flandre will be split pushing in the bottom side, so BLG has to do something. They have to send somebody down there. It looks like Haru will be the guy, as we haven't really talked too much about the mid laners outside of Shank's couple ultimates. They've got some really weird score lines for the kind of game that we have here. Shanks has been involved, but no kills. As
I think
you know,
that's the perfect way to. Ooh.
yes, I exactly on the same wavelength here as Kyle. To land a double knockup. Here comes Hope. Monkey charmed on the backside. Shanks is here, ready for another close quarters knockup onto 2. Baye had to use his ultimate to run away as Xiaozhou once again falls. Again, the curse of playing tanks at support. No other champion other than Nautilus do you really feel it on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nautilus is feeling the full frontal effect of this game. 1-8-3. Half the kills that AL have gotten have been this guy.
Just
Is a hard
and it's
game.
just what happens for those who
Oh
are
yeah,
watching.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
how
yeah.
it's just how it goes. We've accepted the fact that the supports unfortunately get the short end of the stick like that. Doesn't have to do with him playing poorly or anything like that. As Tarzan finds himself dead to Liang Shun, and Shanks is gonna try to get the heck out of dodge. He does get stunned up here. Monkey still in hot pursuit. Kyle and Hope trying to come help their teammate. Looks like BLG will not pursue that any longer.
No, not for the time being. BLG, still hungry, right? And capitalizing on mistakes here from AL when appropriate, as a teleport's going to come down.
Okay,
It is technically a
you got to do
jungler
something.
dead. You have to, yeah, not only do you have to do something, is it a window after this tower to hit Baron? You've got 2 IM ADC. Smolder's at 225 stacks though,
Yeah,
and
that's a problem.
that's a big problem. He's got ultimate, and Tarzan's already respawned, so if they go for a
And he
Baron,
has
they're
his ultimate.
overextending their tempo, and their AD carry is chunked out.
Yeah, this is
This,
not what you want. You take the turret,
no.
you take the turret, you take the objective bounty, and you live to fight another day. The gold deficit is pretty rough at this point, but it doesn't feel like it's gotten that much worse. Now the last time we checked in, it was at 4K, but that was also like 7-8 minutes ago. So, it feels like over the last 2 minutes, it hasn't gotten that much worse.
Yeah, but I think that's a scale, like, and like you said, it's not gotten that much worse. It's still gotten worse.
Oh yeah,
like...
let's not pay attention to the smolder and the jinx in the room.
No,
There's a Nocturne.
no.
Nocturne falls off.
Yeah, Nocturne falls off.
Hang
Like,
your hat on that one, BLG.
Nico is only as useful as the almost that she does.
He's been pretty useful though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's been pretty damn good. Is Shanks looking very much like a minion here? Honestly, his minion mechanics are pretty good. All right, now he doesn't look like a minion, but it's just weird aggro. It's just when that minion just walks into the jungle. Happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Hey, look, even minions gotta explore their freedom every now and again.
There we go. Lights out. Teleport coming in. Tarzan gonna wait a little bit and get all the way over onto the side, onto Monkey, who's on the back line. Meanwhile, see you later, Aurora, just blown up in an instant. Hope is just ignoring the Cassante. Xiaozhou will fall next. Baye has nowhere else to go. He flashes and falls all the same. It's a double kill for Hope.
Double kill for Hope. Baron should be next, and again, AL just looking to dot I's, cross T's, get out of this game as soon as they can. 12 kills on Hope right now. Wonder how many more he can stack up before this game ends. He's got probably at most 2 more team fights to get some work done. We'll see what he can and can't farm. But yeah, BLG long out of it. And, you know, it does make you wonder. Other than that, you know, we saw that Nico play earlier on, right? The, you know, tanking up the tower. What are some of the... I wonder how many more, like, you know, strange mechanics we're going to find. Okay, observers. I wonder how many more strange mechanics we're going to find out about Nico. The longer
And we haven't even
she's
discovered
out.
yet.
That we haven't even discovered yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That just
I mean,
don't get, like, showcased often.
yeah. I mean, APA put together a pretty comprehensive list, I would say. Maybe not list is the right word, but like 2, 3 really strong mechanics.
Yeah.
That he talked about on Twitter, and you know, he is, you know, despite him being a North American mid, as many people will immediately poo-poo that, he is a pretty good Nico authority. As you know, a couple of Korean players had mentioned that they didn't know about these certain Nico mechanics. So I do wonder if there's any mechanics on other champions that we haven't quite discovered yet. Is, you know, League of Legends is a lot of champions, and not all of them get to share an equal amount of the spotlight. But you know who does? Jinx gets to share a large amount of the spotlight here, chunking Heiru really low, flashing forward, taking him out. Tarzan probably really sad because his ult got wasted.
Oh, man.
I mean, Xiaojia is going to go down next. Super Mega Death Rocket, not quite killing him, but Flandre will pick up one for himself there. Haven't talked about him too much. He's got to get a couple on the board.
Yeah, should just be ending of the game here very soon. Waves are coming in. 5 members still left of Baron, and
all right,
doesn't feel hopeful at all.
All right, can BLG hold the line? That's the question. The first turret's going to fall. Monkey is just standing there, not so menacingly. The second turret's going to fall. I think Monkey has given up. He is just doing nothing. I think he was recalling for a hot second there. As the Yangsheng did what he could, he manages to get a kill on the backside in the 3v1. Looks nice and flashy, but ultimately, anyone's legend, a pretty easy dance into the semifinals as expected.
Yeah, as expected. Once we learned that it was going to, of course, be the BLG Juniors lineup amongst some other rookie talent, all of a sudden, matchup's a lot more lopsided. AL, yeah, do what they had to do and are here and ready now for this semi-final matchup against Weibo, where, yeah, I do expect it to be a lot more hotly contested, especially after what we saw from Weibo earlier on tonight. Don't get me wrong, yes, EDG, not the strongest lineup, and, you know, you can make all your arguments you want, etc., etc. I still think, you know, on a foundational level, everything was already looking like it was running fairly smoothly out of Weibo. I didn't really have any major gripes with a lot of their nights. So, you know, moving into AL, who I think definitely showed maybe some, to an absolute stretch, some mild early game inconsistencies. Maybe there's something there.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like, maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
But that said, the mid game was still stellar from AL, right? Once they had their lead, they ran with it. They did what they had to do. And again, I think this was just one of those situations, you know, obviously nameplates off, where once you have that kind of lead, it's very difficult to throw it away. And again, just excellently played once they had that lead.
Yeah, I do think you're right, though. You could certainly, you know, it's not guaranteed that it's like, oh, you know, hey, they didn't look so good here in this early game, especially against BLG juniors, youth, amalgamation, whatever we want to call them. These are, you know, I wonder if there are mistakes that were made because they were playing just a little bit looser in general, or if these were legitimate mistakes made because they were like, we're going to try to make this play here. We're not actually limit testing. You know, more so in game 1 than anything in game 2. I mean, you played Smolder top lane. While it is a thing, this composition is I do not think a composition that you would pick if you are in the semifinals of Demacia Cup. I think this is the only time we'll see this collection of 5 champions at the same time for anyone's legend.
Yeah, I have a feeling that is also going to be the case. Though Tabe, you know, since Tabe's come in,
he cooks.
One of the,
he gets to the kitchen.
Yeah, one of the very positive things about Tabe is his creativity in draft and his ability to really squeeze out every, you know, ounce of flexibility and willingness from a player and a team rather to play a wide variety of champions. And ever since Yeah, and ever since, we saw it with BLG, right? And the general freedom that he gave them when he was there. And now, of course, under the AL banner, we saw the immediate improvements earlier on this year. And of course, in terms of, again, final products of drafts and champions, not saying that this is some like, wild draft Exodia or anything, but, you know, AL players very comfortable and willing to play these champions. Tabe very likely has had these guys, practice a lot of this already.
Yeah, and it worked out pretty well. The comp obviously had some issues, right? But they really didn't let any of them show, and they certainly showed that they knew how to play it. I think that the fights were generally piloted pretty well, so there is that. But a good game for anyone's legend. I have to wonder who the MVP is going to be. Jamada, take a wild guess here. Oh, that was. We finally get the replays, and you know, this was this was a game that had some pomp and circumstance at times, but that flash into the hook was one of. Oh my god, dude! I do not want to see. The hell was that? He
I
looked
just
like
did.
all the memes of like the children coughing. That's exactly what Smolder looked like right there.
It looks like an infant who doesn't know how to cover his mouth when he coughs. Oh my
He
god,
is
that's
the
so
coughing
funny.
baby and the hydrogen bomb simultaneously.
Yeah. I mean, look, even if Hope didn't get fed, like, Flandre would have been a problem this game.
Oh, for sure.
Uh, it's just one of those things where, like, Smolder's always kind of a nuisance to deal with. Even if he doesn't have a team comp, built around him, and that's obviously what makes him such a frustrating champion to play against. And in some instances, of course, even watch in pro play, it's so coordinated that a champion like Smolder just kind of gets to thrive a lot of the time, unless it's shut down, kind of from the get-go.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
yeah.
love that you made that point because it's something that we don't see at tier 1, but having been like a tier 3 caster, we see that a lot whenever Smolder gets big. They actually are just able to make this guy go like 0-5 super early. And a lot of resources are invested into him, and you don't see the same thing at, higher levels of play. I mean, like they burnt the flash really early, but never had an opportunity to return to try to take him out. I wonder how different that is if there's not a jinx in this game, that you
Yeah.
also have to try to keep in check.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true, I think if, the Smolder got put bottom, then maybe you had like a traditional tank top.
It's so yeah. I mean,
Yeah, the game
everything's
looks
different at that point.
the game looks different, doesn't it? But being able to place this Smolder into into the Cassante lane, he gets to scale for free. He's not really put under too much pressure. I think the first time he blew his flash was like almost 10 minutes into the game or something
It
silly like that.
was it was it was Monkey's level 3. He came up
Oh
with.
yeah, sorry, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So it was the monkey
But
level 3,
but
but then
guess what?
like
Nothing happened. So it's
exactly
so
nothing happened.
forgettable.
And then it was so forgettable that I thought that he blew his flash at 10 minutes, right?
Which
So
he
I,
did.
I
Which
just
he did. They came
which he
back a
did,
second time.
which he did. But like
But
the problem is you're not abusing him in that time period,
yes,
right?
yes,
And don't get me wrong,
exactly.
you could certainly make an argument that Cassante should be able to try and find a window in this time, etc., etc. But like, it's lazy. It's lazy. Make it happen, right? It's not like
Yes.
it's impossible to do.
Because you have to,
It's of course
or
just
else you
very
just
hard.
bleed out. You just allow the Jinx to scale, and you allow the Smolder to scale, and then you
Yeah.
throw your hands up like, oh, how do we
And
stop
you'd
this?
already
It's like,
lost
well,
bot side too.
yeah.
So again, yeah, the options were just very limited, I think. And once you don't make that choice to go towards the top side, woo, Hope got
Oh wow,
MVP. Who's surprised?
7 of
Um,
7. I'm actually surprised he got unanimous MVP.
I'm not surprised he got unanimous
I think
MVP.
I think somebody I think somebody would have voted for Tarzan. I think Tarzan had a really good game that was kind of just overshadowed by the fact that Hope was running away. So I thought that maybe somebody would have actually
Maybe
voted for
someone
him.
would like, yeah,
I would have
have it.
voted for Hope, but
Yeah.
I thought somebody would have voted for Tarzan.
No, I definitely agree with you. I also think the same. But yeah, Hope MVP. Not super surprised. Uh, Goodness me, I've lost my trail of thought.
Talking
Re-guide
about
us, Yanni.
talking about not doing anything to try to stop the smolder
Oh yeah. It's
after
just
burning
bad.
Flash and not revisiting.
It's just bad. It's something that we've seen a lot over the years, especially recently, like the last two, where the game is so bot lane focused that oftentimes, you know, a win condition can very easily be found through top, but teams are so unwilling to, you know, let the bot side go just because of I don't know, mind control. That it's like you don't abuse some pretty damn abusable windows up in the top side, right? You ask any top laner how perilous the top lane role is, especially, you know, you start to mix in matchups like, you know, oh, I'm playing Smolder against two very high damage champions. Life sucks. Life
Oh
really
yeah,
sucks
it's
if
the
if he
worst.
stays up there. And if you can time it with objective pools, then great, right? But teams will just not let it go. They'll stay macro focused. They won't, especially once they're losing, kind of go for the smaller micro plays. But yeah, I don't think it would have saved BLG today. But yeah, always you know, mentally a little bit of damage is afflicted whenever I
A little,
don't actually get to see it happen.
little bit of extra mental damage there. Now that we know the first semifinal matchup going to be Weibo Gaming versus Anyone's Legend, Jamana, well, what do you think? Any initial thoughts on that series?
It's I mean,
Best of
honestly,
5. You think we'll go 5?
After seeing Weibo, man, I think like a 3-1
Okay.
Weibo. I don't think it's not gonna be close. I just think that the end result
A
will
close
be
3-1.
3-1 Weibo. Like I think it'll be a close 3-1.
Yeah.
Like those games
There's
will
a
be
such
close
thing as a
score.
close 3-0. We've seen plenty of them, you know. So yeah, you know, yeah, I think Weibo looked particularly clean today. And Anyone's Legend looked a little bit rougher than I would have liked, especially compared to how they did in the group stage. But again, you know, it's kind of hard to extrapolate that based off their opponents. So I think that I'm going to pull for Anyone's Legend. I think that I like what they're putting together. I think this might actually go 5. I'm going to pick them to win, but I'm not super confident in it. But I certainly think it'll be an excellent series. Speaking of some excellent series, we have more Demacia Cup action tomorrow, starting at 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific. First game of the night is LNG versus Thunder Talk, and then the second matchup, the match that everybody's been waiting for. It is TES versus Invictus Gaming. Rudude Grapes and Mazel will be giving you all the action for those games. Jamada, any thoughts on those two series as well?
I need it. IG, you need to win. You need to win. Yeah.
Inject
I'm
it right
Ricky's
into my
lawyer.
veins, bro. I'm so
Exactly.
excited.
I am there, ready.
I got work tomorrow, but I'm gonna wake up early to watch. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not even on the broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, good. Get it up. Watch. It's time for IG to return to the glory days. And just like the glory days, if the Shy's not 1v9ing, they've got to make sure he's not running it. It's that simple. It's one or the other for this lineup.
The Shy has two. He's got 2 moods, 1v9 and run it. I want to give a quick shout out to Thunder Talk because I'm not sure how that series against LNG is going to go, but I think Thunder Talk looked really, really good. They were obviously the surprise of their group. So I just want to give them their flowers, shout them out for getting out of the group that involved JDG. So maybe we will see Thunder Talk in the semifinals.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see.
That'd be a cool, yeah, well, that'd be a cool little surprise, but that will do it for us here this morning or evening, wherever the heck you are located in the world. We want to thank you all so much for being with us here. I want to give special shout outs to the production staff. Of course, want to thank Jamada, want to thank Kelsey Moser, everybody else on the project. Want to thank Mickey, our producer. Big shout out to Rafa as well, who was on earlier in the evening. And big shout out to you, the viewers and the fans, because without you guys wanting this, probably wouldn't be provided. So we want to thank you all so much for being here with us today, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more Demacia Cup action.